Hey, how you doing? Just in time. Tripping here. Sorry I didn't get to the last part of our series yesterday, but in my opinion, it was well worth the time I spent to get stuff off my chest. So, as you know, we've been talking about climate change, and we've done a lot of it. So today probably be a little longer than the usual length of the videos I've been doing, but I just want to get it over with. So it's be part 4 of climate change. I hope that I know there's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me. I know there's going to be some people that do, but whatever there is, at least you'll have the facts and you can make up your own mind what you want to have done about it. Drink lots of water. Okay, is crazy weather really tied to climate change? In some cases, yes. Scientists have published strong evidence that the warming climate is making heat waves more frequent and more intense, and we've seen that lately. It also is causing heavier rainstorms and coastal flooding. I'll buy into that also. We had a hell of a goddamn storm last night. It flooded our streets so bad that it seeped in around my foundation and it flooded my basement. So it is causing heavier rainstorms and coastal flooding, and is getting worse as the oceans rise because of human emissions. Global warming has intensified droughts in regions like the Middle East and the UK, places like that. In many other cases, though, the linkage to global warming for particular trends is uncertain or even undisputed. That's partly from a lack of good historical weather data, but it's also scientifically unclear how certain types of events may be influenced by the changing of time. Another factor, while the climate is changing, people's perceptions may be changing faster. The internet has made us all more aware of the weather disasters around the world. And in distant places, like on social media, people have a tendency to attribute virtually any disaster to climate change. We all know that, it just happens. But in many cases, there's little or no scientific support for doing so. So, will anyone really benefit from global warming? In certain ways, yes. Countries with huge frozen hinterlands, including Canada and Russia, could see some economic benefits. As global warming makes agriculture, mining, and the like more possible in those places. So as the ice melts off and whatnot becomes land, and they can start farming it or looking for minerals or whatever. It's perhaps no accident that the Russians have always been reluctant to make ambitious climate commitments, and the president, Vladimir Putin, has publicly questioned the science of climate change. However, both of these countries could suffer enormous damage to their natural resources, escalating fires in Russia, and they're already killing millions of acres of forest per year. Moreover, some scientists in other countries that view themselves as likely winners from global warming will come to see the matter differently once they are swamped by millions of refugees from less fortunate lands. We're already seeing that happen. Is there any reason for hope? Excuse me for a second, guys. Is there any reason for hope? If you share this information with 50 of your friends, maybe. Scientists have been warning since the 80s that the strong policies were needed to limit emissions, and we saw during the last administration that they started making more fuel-efficient cars, electric cars, stuff like this. Those warnings were ignored, and greenhouse gases in the atmosphere were allowed to build up to the potentially dangerous levels, so the hour is really late. But after 20 years of largely fruitless diplomacy, the governments of the world are finally starting to take the problem a little more seriously. A deal reached in Paris in late 2015 commits nearly every country to some kind of action. President Trump decided in 2017 to pull the United States out of the deal, saying that it would unfairly burden American businesses. But other countries are promising to go forward with it anyway, and some states and cities have defied Mr. Trump by adopting more ambitious climate agendas. Religious leaders like the Pope are speaking out. Low-emission technologies, such as electric cars, are improving leading corporations and are making bold promises to switch to renewable power and stop forests from destruction. So what is still largely missing in all this are the voices of ordinary citizens, because politicians have a hard time thinking beyond the next election. They tend to tackle hard problems only when the public rises up and demands it. So how does agriculture affect climate change? It's a big contributor, but there are signs of progress. The environmental pressures from global agriculture are enormous. Global demand for beef and for animal feed, for instance, has led farmers to cut down large swaths of the Amazon forest. Brazil adopted tough oversight and managed to cut deforestation in the Amazon by 80% in a decade. But these gains are fragile and severe. Problems continue in other parts of the world, such as aggressive forest clearing in Indonesia. Scores of companies and organizations, including major manufacturers of consumer products, they are signed in a declaration with New York in the 2014 pledging to cut deforestation as a policy. And they plan to do it by 2020 and to cut it out completely by 2030. The companies that signed the pact are now struggling to figure out how to deliver on the promise. Many forest experts consider meeting the pledge to be difficult, but possible. They say consumers must keep up on the pressure on companies that use these ingredients, like palm oil and products ranging from soap, lipstick to ice cream. People can also help the cause by altering their diets to eat less meat and particularly less beef. So, will the seas rise evenly across the planet? Think lumpy. Many people imagine the oceans to be like a bathtub where the water level is consistent all the way around. In fact, the sea is rather lumpy. Strong winds and other factors can cause water to pile up in some spots and be lower in others. Also, the huge ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica exert a gravitational pull on the sea, drawing water towards them. That'd be the tides in and out. As they melt, sea levels in their vicinity will fall as the water gets redistributed for distant areas. How the rising ocean affects particular parts of the world will drastically depend on which ice sheet melts fastest, how winds and currents shift, and other related factors. On top of all that, some coastal areas are sinking into the sea. Rises so they'll get double whammy. So what are carbon emissions? Here's a quick explanation. The greenhouse gases being released by the human activity are often called carbon emissions. Just for shorthand, that is because two of the most important gases, carbon dioxide and methane. They contain carbon. Many other gases also trap heat near the Earth's surface, and many human activities cause the release of such gases to the atmosphere. Not all these actually contain carbon, but they all have come to be referred to by the same shorthand. Puppies. By far, the biggest factor causing global warming is burning of the fossil fuels for electricity and transportation. That process takes carbon that has been underground for millions of years and moves into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, where it will influence the climate for many centuries, and it'll go into the future. Methane is even more potent at trapping heat than carbon dioxide, but it breaks down more quickly into the air. Methane comes from swamps, from the decay of food and landfills, and from cattle and dairy farming, and from leaks in the natural gas wells and pipelines that we have put in. While fossil fuel emissions are the major issue, another major creator of the emissions is the destruction of forests, particularly in the tropics. Billions of tons of carbon are stored in the trees when the forests are cleared. Much of the vegetation is burned, sending that carbon into the air as carbon dioxide. So when you hear about carbon taxes, carbon trading, and so on, these are all just shorthand descriptions of methods designed to limit greenhouse emissions or to make them more expensive so that people will be encouraged to conserve food. So I've told you all the facts that I found online. The bottom line is, in my opinion, now that's only my opinion, is that only the people can make it less. As they said, we can eat less meat. You know me, I'm a pretty big guy. To tell me to quit eating meat is going to be pretty hard. I don't think I could ever do that. But it's like they said, tell 50 of your friends about this. Those 50 friends will go on and they'll tell 50 other friends. And that's the only way we can really change the climate. We're destroying it. We're destroying it because we, as the human race, have been spoiled. Been spoiled to do what we want, get what we want, and act the way we want. And that's why a lot of people just say, no, there's no such thing as climate change. Because in order for them to agree to climate change, they would have to change their habits. And a lot of people just don't like to change their habits. I'm that way. It took me years to change the way I eat because of my medical condition. And the same with all other people, we have diabetics, and you have the people with the COPD, you have people with heart problems. All these people have to change their eating habits. And they do it because if they don't, they'll die. Well, you can look at it the same way with climate change. If we watch the way we eat and we change our habits, then the earth is going to last longer. Another thing is, if we do all this, our children and our children's children will be able to enjoy the same pleasures of our great earth the same as we have. And that's what it all comes down to, is trying to preserve the earth for the future generations. So anyway, that's all I have. That closes it out, thank goodness, because I have some other things I want to get on to, and if I don't finish this up, I can't do it. So that's all I have for today. I want to let you guys know it's Tuesday. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water. We'll tell you what's going on. tomorrow is Wednesday, and we have a live stream on Wednesday. If you come to the live stream, you get your name written down so I can take the names and throw them into the hat for Saturday. Now, excuse me, I know I have gotten a few more subscribers since I've started this, so I'm going to explain it to you guys one more time just so the new people know. If you come to the Wednesday live stream, I write your name down on a piece of paper and I throw all the names from the live stream into the hat. Now, if you donate to the live stream on Wednesday, then you'll be, and your name's drawn, then you'll get more than just the sticker that I give out for the name being drawn out. If you don't donate, I pull your name out. I usually just send you one of my logo stickers. But if you donate, then I usually send you something else, which is usually one of my t-shirts, one of my coffee mugs, one of my totes that you go to the store with. I'll send you something like that along with a sticker. So that's just the way it is. I'm not going to give my stuff away. You have to earn it. You have to come to the live stream. You have to donate to that live stream. And then you have to have your name in the hat and have it drawn on Saturday night. When I draw your name on Saturday night, then you don't have to be there. But if you're there, it's easier for me to find you to let you know what you're going to get. It's becoming harder for me to chase you guys down. If it keeps going like this, I'm going to have to make it so if you're at the live stream on Saturday and you have to be at the live stream on Saturday, if your name is drawn and you're not there, we'll draw another name. I'm not going to go there yet. I'm just trying to make you understand how hard it is for me to find you if you're not there. I understand that things come up. I understand that we all have busy lives. But, you know, if you want to win something, you should be there. That's just the way I look at it, you know. But I'm not going to go there yet, but it's getting close to being in that situation. It's getting to be where everybody comes on Wednesday and then they don't come on Saturday, and I have a heck of a time finding some of these people because I don't really know them. You know, they're new people, or I can't find their channel when I go back and search. You know, so it would just be easier that if you have your name in there on Wednesday, make sure you come on Saturday. So on Wednesdays, I do it from 9 in the morning till noon. And then on Saturday nights, I do it from 8 at night till about 9 or 9:30, depending on what we have going on. And then there's one other thing I want to bring up. I've just about got all the details put together for my third live stream, and that's going to be, most of the folks know, but I'm going to do that one like at midweek, midday, something like 2, 3, 4 o'clock. I'll do a live stream, and it will be on Google Hangouts. I'll bring up one channel. We'll interview them. I'll have some questions for them. They'll answer the questions, and then we will turn it over to the side chat. The side chat can ask questions or make comments or whatever they want to do. And that way it kind of gives the channels an opportunity to showcase themselves to other people, so that they can come visit your channel, send your channel to other people, makes your channel grow, if you see what I mean. So that's basically what I have for today. That's the end of the series, thank goodness. On to the next. So I want to thank you guys for coming. You guys know I couldn't do any of this without you. You guys know I love you to death. As usual, it's God bless you, God bless me, and God bless the US of A. Till next time, thanks for watching.